Hello, hi, welcome. If you found your way here, you're obviously lost, but that's okay. We're still happy to have you. And yeah, let's get into it. First things first, today's reusable drinking apparatus is my lovely bilingual mug. My parents got me one again this year. They got me one for Christmas last year and they did it again. I really love it. If you didn't know, I'm studying math in college, so my little bilingual mug is very fitting, and I will be drinking out of that because we are saving the turtles. Today's video is just going to be a little anti-haul because honestly, I feel like after January, in January things calmed down and there wasn't that much being released, but then after January for some reason we had like a sudden influx of things coming in and at us, and influencer brands, celebrity brands, all of that coming at us. So I'm going to be talking about that, and as always I will not be showing pictures of these things on the screen because I find that it can be triggering for people. Like when you watch an anti-haul and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, I kind of want that. And the whole purpose of watching the anti-haul in the first place was to watch and like kind of talk yourself out of it, and I don't want to talk you into it by showing you a picture of something that you may have never even considered buying, so I'm not going to be showing pictures. You're more than welcome to look it up on your own though if you are interested. The first thing that I wanted to talk about was perhaps the most controversial. It's the new Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette. It's volume 2. If anyone has been here for a while, you know that the volume 1 slapped. Like, everyone was on top of that. Everyone has it. I don't have it. Just to clarify, I don't have anything that Jaclyn Hill has ever put out, so I don't know anything about her actual products. But I feel like everyone has that first palette for some reason. Like, when it dropped, everyone just has it now, and everyone likes it. They say the quality is good. And then there was the whole thing with the vault and that just being a whole mess, and that the quality wasn't there, and that, you know, the shades were patchy and ashy and ugly and just not good. And then she had hairy lipstick gate where people were finding contaminants and possible, you know, air bubbles or fibers that were supposedly from white gloves. And as a side note, I was watching Jaclyn Hill's video about her new release, and I felt sorry for her for a while, and then I stopped watching the video and I'm like, wait, why am I feeling sorry for her after she's lied and done all of this shady stuff? Like, why do I feel sorry for this woman? And that's when it hit me. Like, everyone always says she's a good manipulator. Well, hit me like that with this palette, because I felt sorry for her while watching her video and then had to take a step back and be like, wait, I'm being manipulated. So that would be my first thing where I'm just like, I don't want it. It's not even colors that I like. I like, you know, somewhat purples, but I've always been more of a cool tone girl because of my lovely skin tone. I prefer to go onto the cooler range, and that palette is just oranges and pinks and like sunset vibes. That's what I'd call it. Which, if it was released in 2015 where sunset vibes were all the rage, or what, not all the rage. Who am I, an 80s teen mom or something? I hate it. Anyway, back in 2015 when those things were, you know, poppin' and people were loving them, maybe this would have been like very impactful, but now I'm just like, like, I don't care. I don't particularly support her. I do think that the people who are giving negative comments on her that don't have any valid criticism in them, they're just giving her like more room to be a martyr, right? Like people calling her fat and stuff. Don't do that. Criticize her on something that she actually needs to be criticized on, like being a liar or being kind of manipulative. Criticize those things. But anyway, for all of those reasons, I'm not looking to get the new Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't really care about it. It doesn't look that great to me. A lot of repeat shades. So next. Thank you. The next thing is also from someone who may be a little problematic, depending on your point of view and if you have accepted their apology or not. I personally am not a fan of Jeffree Star. If you even ignore all the racism in the past and whatnot, I just don't think he's a very nice person to his fans. He doesn't give off the type of energy. I hate saying that. I feel so pretentious, but the type of energy that I'd like to be around, and I don't know, I don't like him. Like, he just, not for me, not my cup of tea. So take this with a grain of salt if you want. I will not be buying his Bloodlust palette because I don't own any Jeffree Star cosmetics, and I know some people think that they're like the best or whatever. But when I look at the Bloodlust palette, it just lacking. Like, there's a ton of mid-tone shades, but there's nothing really that goes deep. And I feel like with something like Bloodlust, like, you're fighting, like, this is your kingdom, like, it should be deep and dark and dragons, and it was such a cool concept that he could have gone with to make it more deep and dark. Not to mention there's one red shade that really doesn't belong there, and I mean, if you have, you know, blood sugar or something, you probably have that red shade anyway, so I don't know why he threw that in there. But if he went really dark and really went with the theme of like dragons and, you know, castle and bloodlust and fighting like for the kingdom or whatever, I think that would have been a lot more entertaining. And not to mention that a lot of the shades don't look like they'd work on a deeper skin tone. Now, I can't fully speak to that because anything shows up on me. So when I look at it, my first impression's always like, well, yeah, that'll work. Like, fine, whatever, anything works. Like, doesn't take much over here to work and show up. But then I think about it and I'm like, anyone darker than like a medium skin tone, how many of these shades would realistically work if they're not using a white base? That's my second problem with it, is that there's not enough variation in color, and the colors that he did choose didn't really give me the vibe that I wanted from it, you know, like the Dungeons and Dragons kind of vibe that I desired. Moving right along, ColourPop for Valentine's Day has released their Luxe lip glosses. Now these are different because instead of coming in a squeezy tube, they actually come in, like, you know, this typical lip gloss packaging, like concealer packaging, where you have plastic component and then you have a wand that pops out and you can use the doe foot or whatever on your lips. Now, these are actually really cool. I'm pretty tempted about them. When I first saw them, I was like, you know, like, you can come on over. But then I thought about it, and your girl is allergic and very sensitive to every type of fragrance there is imaginable. To give you a good example that a lot of people could probably think of the Fenty Gloss Balm. A lot of people love the scent of the original Fenty Gloss Balm. But by God, it gives me a headache every single fucking time I use it. And it drives me nuts because I can't wear it because it actually gives me migraines. I'm very migraine sensitive, very fragrance sensitive. So then I look at these ColourPop ones and I'm like, girl, if you have any fragrance in you, like, I can't be messing with it. I'll never use it up. So I'm going to wait until reviews come out, and if they have like a mentholy mint, that's fine, like a light mentholy mint, don't mind that. But if they're like a vanilla cupcake scent, it's gonna be a no-go for me. But they do look very pretty, I will say. And another reason why I'm anti-hauling them is because I prefer the squeezy tube packaging, actually. Okay, I have a weird thing. I wear a lot of lipstick, and so when I take the little doe foot or whatever out and rub it on my lips, and then the lipstick color gets back into the gloss, it drives me absolutely freaking nuts. So that's going to be a no just because of the packaging. Whereas I feel like the squeezy tube, I can wipe off the cap and then it's fine, like, no problem. But yeah, these are going on my anti-haul list. And also, hey, PSA, if you have lip glosses in your collection, you have probably enough if you have like over 3 lip glosses. Like, use those up first. I'm really bad about that. I see a new shiny one and go after it. But PSA for the general people, use your lip glosses that you have first because they expire so quickly. They expire so damn quickly. I can't deal with it. The next thing is the Breton and Wet n Wild collection. It's called Jungle Rock. Breton Rock, that is, the influencer. And they're doing a collection, and it's called Jungle Rock. It's really pretty. It has a lot of really cool, like, colorful, you know, vibes. This is a stupid reason I'm anti-hauling it. I'm just going to say it first. Like, this is so stupid, and judge me all you want. But I'm not buying this because I hate that it's jungle themed, and the packaging is orange and pink. I don't know. Like, I'm crazy. I don't know. I want like a deep green, like a jungly deep green with like snakes crawling on it or something crazy. Like, I want that kind of junk. I want to feel like I'm in the fucking rainforest. Like, give it to me. This goes back to the same thing that I had with the Jeffree Star Bloodlust collection, actually. When a collection doesn't really hit that theme hard, but like just kind of like dances around it. Yeah, like, you know, it's like LaCroix, okay? It's not an actual lemon. It's like cousin to a lemon, you know? Like, it's not quite lemon water, it's like slightly lemon water. Like, they're slightly related. That's how I feel about collections that have a theme but don't like hit it out of the park with the theme and just go all out. If you go all out, I feel like much more invested in it. I feel like I'm much more interested in that theme. Whereas like if there's just like a green in the palette and it's jungle, I don't feel it. Like I need to feel it. I need the background to be green. I need snakes. I need monkeys. I need something. Like, give it to me or don't give it at all. So that's why I am not looking even closely at the Breton Rock collaboration, because I wanted that packaging to be on point and it just wasn't. Like, it gave me sunset vibes, which is not a jungle. Like, no. Milk is releasing a milk face cleanser. This one's kind of weird to me because I understand that Milk is a very skin-focused brand, but I don't really feel like buying a cleanser that's probably going to cost over $20. That just doesn't make sense to me. Very sensitive skin. I will break out to anything unless it's like extremely tested and approved for eczema, so throw most things out the window anyway. Take my opinion with a grain of salt, if you will. But eczema problems, dry skin, B, I don't want to spend that much money on a cleanser when I can get a perfectly good drugstore or K-beauty cleanser. I've been really looking into K-beauty cleansers because I feel like they could be fun and nice. And then I could do like an oil cleanse along with like the cream foaming cleanser after. I don't know. But the reason that I don't want the Milk one is just simply because I don't think my skin could take it. And I don't want to spend over $20 on something that my face can't even take or can't even stand. So goodbye. Here's one that I have a lot of opinions on. Catrice, which I haven't heard of, I haven't been checking for in the past 2 years maybe, since like I was in high school maybe? I haven't been checking for them. I don't care about them. Their stuff has always bored me ever since I found out that like there are better brands out there. So I haven't been checking for them, but they are releasing a collection with Disney, specifically with Mickey Mouse. We're back to my points. Let me have my points. I don't give 2 fucks about what Catrice is coming out with. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. I can move about my day. B, fuck Disney. Like, really? They have a monopoly on so many things that people don't even realize. When everyone was going crazy over Disney Plus, I only saw that as another move to kind of try and get a monopoly on streaming, which, I mean, it's their content, it's their licensed content, you can say do whatever you want, but when you're actively pushing smaller studios out of the business, that's a problem. However, I did go to Disneyland recently for the first time in my life. I was at a scientific conference and I got to go to Disneyland as part of that, and like, it was okay. It wasn't anything that great. I think it's more the nostalgia that gets people, and I think that's what they're really preying on with this collection. Because, to be quite frank, I didn't watch Disney growing up. My parents didn't really want me to watch Disney for whatever reason. They didn't really allow TV in the first place, so I didn't watch them, so I have no nostalgic feelings over it. I really just don't care. This is one where, like, do what you want, man, but yikes. On my list, next up, is the Beauty Blender Concealer. If you can reverse your brain back a little in makeup history, you will remember when they came out with their foundation and they launched it as like, oh, we have so many shades, it's so great, it's so wonderful, because everyone was on that boat after Fenty launched. So they were on that boat for quite a while, and then we saw the actual shade range and people were justified in saying, what the fuck, like, who told you this would be a good idea? Because most of the shades were mid-toned, and someone like me probably couldn't find their shade, and someone who has very dark and deep skin probably couldn't find their shade, so that sucked. And then the owner was confronted about it, and she's like, well, I'm catering to Latinas. Newsflash, my guy, Latinas come in all different shades too. Like, there's not just one shade of you. Nice try, but your get out of jail free card is not being, it's not working right now. Just because you're Latina and you want to, I don't know. That thing was a whole mess. You can't just say that. It's like Kat Von D saying, well, she's Latina, so she understands, like, how Jewish people feel with anti-Semitism. Fuck out of here. Like, you can't pull that card all the time. Like, you can't pull the, well, I'm this, so I can't be that card all the time. So that was the first problem. And now they're releasing concealer. We'll say the shade range looks much better. Much better. I feel like I could actually find my shade. I feel like someone who's deep and dark could actually find their shade. So I applaud them for that. Like, woo, little golf claps, like I'm an old white man. Woo, congrats. So I applaud them for that. Good work on that. However, I have concealer. I'm not in the market for new concealer. It takes me forever to use a concealer because I only spot conceal like acne, and even then, I'm not like religiously patting it on like one coat, and if it doesn't like fully go away, then whatever, like I just don't care. So I'm not in the market for a new concealer, and I feel like most people aren't in the market for a new concealer. You tend to find one that works for you and you just use up that and keep rebuying it. I don't feel like a lot of people are always looking for new concealers. So another PSA, if you like what you have, keep what you have. And that's something that I need to remind myself of too, because I'm definitely I'm definitely guilty of it too, is that I think that I'll find a new holy grail and it just turns out to be a disappointment. And definitely buying an expensive concealer just to try it, just to see if it does better than one that I already like, is just stupid, and I'm not going to do it. With that being said, I feel like it's time to wrap up because I talk a lot. I realize that I talk way too much, way more than you probably want me to talk. So I will be wrapping this up. I will be saying, do not buy anything that you don't need, because when you buy things that you don't need, not only do you lose money, but you also hurt the environment. I'm trying to be better about that myself, so I just want to put that message out there. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. My bangs are going crazy. Why do I look like that? Ooh. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. If you made it this far in the video, I love you, and you should consider subscribing or liking this video, or just not. Like, it's fine. I don't care. So with that being said, continue being a wonderful person and having a wonderful day, and do not forget to bring your reusable cups to your favorite local coffee store, because we are saving the turtles, bitch. And with that being said, have a great day. Bye.